through roll call. Marsha White, here. Nicole Butler. Andrea Estridge, here. Andy Luther. Stephen Lindsay.
Here.
Ann Houston. Here. Kelly Rose.
Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm turning the meeting over to Dr.
Thank you, Ms. White. I would like to take this opportunity to invite Ms. MacLeod, Mr. Anderson, and the entire district school improvement team to present on the work the district school improvement team is doing.
I'm Stephanie Cosme, principal at Peach Park Middle School, and I have been given the honor of all of last year and this year working with members of the teacher groups throughout the district as one of the administrators of the BP committee. It's comprised of several folks, but myself and Ms. Anderson and Cal have been the lead administrators of this class. We have multiple different members presenting with me today. I have Cameron Stratham. Oh, I was so close. I wanted to get it right. She is a fourth grade teacher at OC. I also have Jen Mendel. She is one of our EL staff members here at Peach Park Middle School, and I'm a pet social worker here at Peach Park Middle School. Who we are. So the district-wide designation team or school improvement team is comprised of multiple different members across the district. We are a representative group. So while few schools at the time of our assembly were designated as comprehensive, the members of the committee are comprised of teachers and social work staff and instructional staff from across the district at all 5 of our schools work together. Every one of these members is dedicated to the excellence that we are working to achieve here at Peach Park School District. And then one of my favorite parts is that it's comprised of both very veteran staff and new staff. So Cameron, who's presenting with us today, is interested in teaching. So it's a really wide variety of staff. And then at the time we were comprised, Chris and I were both members, as we were both schools that were designated as comprehensive.
Our collective goals as a team, starting with making data-driven decisions that is between all we also, our goals are to stay student-centered and make sure we are doing what's best for them and putting it first. With the data, we want to on all the decisions, and then also keeping systems in mind to make sure that we can do that. Then our process as a team is we start with learning, so understanding the data throughout all the buildings. Again, not just the schools that are labeled comprehensive, but all of them. In order to grow, we need to look at that data and determine what overlapping areas there are for each school and all the students. And then based on all of that, we were able to develop a plan using evidence and data to move forward.
So PLC, professional learning communities, forward, and PLC's focus on a continual cycle of effective instructional practices involve creating informative assessment, analyzing the data, and computing And John Hattie and his research has said that collective efficacy and productive teacher collaboration makes a pretty large effect size of 1.34. And for those of you that know John Hattie's work, that is very good.
So when we all sat down together and looked at the information, it was that across the district, we are all doing PLCs a little bit differently. So as a team, we decided that we need to have a uniform agenda that would be a place to start and have expectations and norms that are established throughout the entire district. So our plan is to design that in December and hopefully have it implemented in January.
Thank you so much. The next thing on our agenda is a board member recognition month, the month of November. It's our opportunity to thank the school board members of Beach Park District 3 and give them the recognition they've earned for providing a local voice for our community's education decisions. School board members are volunteers serving as advocates, striving for quality education opportunities for every student. The members of our board take on this responsibility not for a paycheck, but for their commitment to our community and its children. Our board members act as frontline advocates, providing a local voice for the community, a vision for the district, and a pathway to success for our students. We want to take a minute and thank our board members for all that they do for Beach Park District 3. And we'd also like to call up our dual language students because they have a performance that they're going to perform for the board. Thank you so much from our dual language teachers. Thank you, Mrs. Brito. Thank you for all you've done for the dual language program. Thank you to our students who did a great job dancing. I'm going to assume there's a lot of parents here tonight that are waiting for their dual language child. So I'm going to give you a minute if you want to go out there and meet them so that you can take them home. If you're not staying for the whole board meeting, we're just going to give you a second. You can exit, you can go find your child. You can do whatever you need to do. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and bringing your kids to be able to dance for our board. All right. Jerry's like, I'm leaving. All right. The next thing on my superintendent report is for the resolutions committee report, which you all received last month, 2020. Just to give you a little overview, the resolutions committee report outlines proposals to be enacted upon at the annual meeting of the IASB Delegate Assembly, Saturday, November 23rd in Chicago. So I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Luther to go through this for all of you. We can tell him how you'd like him to vote.
And ready for your report. Just kind of go through the items and highlight them. And the committee has given some recommendations to adopt. Select whatever we want to do and just tell me what your desire is. Number one is a dual language. Essentially, sorry, I didn't bring my glasses. The resolutions committee determined that providing additional flexibility and allowing reasonable occasions such as field. Thank you. And they are recommending that we do adopt. I just like to know how you like me to vote.
This is because bilingual teachers are extremely hard to get, and it's to kind of make the requirements to become a bilingual dual language teacher a little bit less because of the teacher shortage currently, and this is considered one of the hardest to fill positions in our school district.
You desire to adopt. Thank you. And thank you for the use of the glasses. Number two, finance, EBF authorization, charter school funding. And it be resolved that the Illinois Association of School Boards urges to adopt governance-based funding formula for state authorized charter schools that aligns with the funding formula used for every of those schools in the state of Illinois. The committee is recommending that. Do adopt. The third one is regarding tax finance tip. It resolved that the associations, Illinois General Assembly and government to enact legislation that reforms the tip process and acceptable reasonable keeps communities whole and greater accountability to taxpayers. The verbiage goes along with them.
It's basically allowing us to say this school.
Right. Number four, base law. A be resolved that the Illinois Association of School Boards shall request Illinois legislature required Illinois State's Board of Education or create a statewide database as a means to fulfill employment history required base. Committee determined that requiring each district, school district to fulfill the requirements is burdensome. Individual school districts creating statewide Any responsible for this?
Please vote yes. Please vote. It's very difficult.
Makes sense to adopt.
Number 5, health tailored coverage. Central management services to create a unified health plan for school districts to opt into by health insurance coverage for all schools staff across the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I love it, but I don't think it'll ever come true, but I would say it would happen.
Moving on to number 6, polling place. Allow school district to refuse to use as a polling place during election for safety reasons. This may not apply to us as much as other districts around the state, especially ones down special resources. So they are recommending that they do it. Just review that.
It gives us control to set the school calendar and have to include that as an election, just so you know, if we're not a police.
We used to approve the use meetings of this kind of internet. There is that.
Because it was in that, we had to take it as a holiday. That's why we're saying we should be able to do this so that districts can decide whether or not that's a non-student attendance.
Good to adopt.
It would be up to the district to determine that.
Moving on to number 7. Yes, thanks. Cell phone usage. Legislation, consider legislation that empowers school boards to adopt regarding the use of student-only wireless communication devices. Specifically, school districts will be required to create a policy that states that students may not use wireless communication devices for certain cases. And they are recommended to adopt. And many agree that cell phone usage during school is a growing concern. However, the committee did not support the statewide mandate on cell phone usage is not governed by locally. Committee members determined that cell phone policy should be posted in
Agree, do not adopt. Keep it local, don't make a state mandate.
I'm going to do just a second here. What is it?
Currently, it's set for only the middle school for the most part. There's verbiage in the handbook of both middle school and elementary, but we don't forbid the use of it. We have direct guidelines by school, what it looks like.
Yes, just maybe
For the board? Sure.
number 8. Office of Inspector General. Request encourage legislation that will develop a state-funded office of Inspector General and will expand the state police jurisdiction to investigate allegations of waste, fraud, and
What's that? Well, and that's their finding to say, read it, they said there's plenty of other laws, plenty of other checks. Maybe a single law. There's plenty of other avenues to look.
Okay, moving on to number 9, federal-based law for appointments. Current. Faith law currently applies to new hires only. Over and open school district and grant building current employees. One district review, committee members determined that conducting current employees could cause confusion and pose legal and market challenges for school districts. Given these challenges, the employment decisions are best and its attorneys, they are recommending that.
I definitely agree.
Wholeheartedly agree, you added that.
Okay, and the last one, clinical background. It is each candidate's responsibility to give a criminal background check to the regional office patient and its responsibility to contact Will to make appointments required paperwork needed. They are saying is committee members determine that background checks for school board candidates for the typical election standard. School board members ask compared to other schools, also cause financial challenges for potential school board members. These challenges could deter qualified transfer.
I would agree, added that.
And that's there. There's more about do not consent. I took these were not, not.
Yeah, as I read it, the rest of them are kind of in the top.
The last one. Very bad.
Then we are, I think we're both on these.
I think it's just specific.
Just the parliamentary one, which we went through. Okay. When I read it, it said something about changing the parliamentary base, be the newest rules being ruled. That's.
That's page 21 where it gives about 10 items. That was part of all. On page 10, 22. Yeah. So yes, no, probably.
I'm a fan of yes. It is like a legit. Reading the question, I think it's a question of whether they should change the parliamentary procedure wording practice in the Constitution. Basically, as I read it, in another set of minutes, it basically just said that they were changing the word was most current to the proper. It really didn't make much sense at all. Really, yes.
If you allow me the ability to listen to the presentation and
I trust your judgment.
Yes.
And
okay,
Good, Mr. Linder. Oh. Use your microphone. Could we go back to the background checks for board members for a moment? That would be on page 6.
I don't remember.
Ben. Oh, thank you, Ted. I'm just going to let it stand that I do not. I don't agree with do not. But everybody else.
Be it resolved that Illinois Associated School Board should require all school board candidates criminal petition. Each candidate's responsibility to get a criminal background check, regional office of education, and the candidate's responsible to contact Will and make an appointment. Part of the paperwork needed is regional office of education results. And the there's currently a law that states that no school board member can be fine, however, there's no oversight making sure that this is completed by resolution, which is very oversight. Maybe you read it's critical, board members maintain the highest standards, or committee members determine that the background checks for school board candidates create a different election standard for school board members as compared to other. And then it can cause financial procedure challenges for potential school candidates. These challenges could be very qualified and
But I think, so my thinking is that the school board members are one of the few elected officials that are working in schools that have children are. Just from past experience in my past career. Safety for our children, I think is paramount. And if everyone else is in the district has a bad option.
well, this is just getting anchored on the ballot. I think that the law would still be full if you're elected. If you're elected.
Right, but like it says, there's no oversight, make sure that there's no checks and balances.
From a state standpoint, but certainly from a board school districts.
All right, so maybe that's something we could discuss. There as well.
Is the school board member interior. Yes. Any other questions or comments?
Thank you. All right, thank you. Next thing on my superintendent's report is school summative designations. Celebrate the release of our school designations from the Illinois State Board of Education. First, I want to celebrate Newport Elementary School because they have maintained their rating of commendable year over year. I want to congratulate them and Dr. Garris on a job well done. Beach Park Middle School, for the first time ever since school designation ratings began, is rated commendable. A huge celebration. Howell Elementary School moved to commendable in only 1 year from being comprehensive last year, the same with the middle school, so congratulations to Howell. Oak Crest Elementary moved from commendable to comprehensive, and then Kenneth Murphy Elementary moved from commendable to target. And even though we had 2 schools slide down, confident based on the work we did collectively with Howell and EPMS, we can move our 2 schools back up to commendable or above. Some exciting data to celebrate includes moving the number of students that are grade level proficient or above in reading from 11.2% to 20.9%, which is an increase of 9.7% in 1 year, which is amazing. In math, the number of students grade level proficient or above 8.2% to 9.2%, an increase of 1%. And while this is a huge jump, it is a movement in the right direction. And if you've read anything about school designations, math is a statewide problem currently. So there's definitely some information coming out from the state pertaining to that. We'll be taking a deep dive into the data in the very near future in order to continue making improvements that reduce student scores and increase grade level proficiency. But there is a lot to celebrate. Congratulations to our schools. Congratulations to our 2 schools that were comprehensive and moved to commendable in only 1 year. Congratulations to Newport for maintaining a commendable. I look forward to seeing what the work of our staff, our students do in the year to come. The last 2 things on the superintendent report are the joint conference. You all have a binder of information, which includes your name badge, which you must have. Joint conference. The itinerary is inside of that. And I plan to see all of you in the hotel lobby Friday morning at 10:15 so that we can walk down to our first destination collectively. Last but not least, Thanksgiving break is coming up. The district will be closed November 27th through the 29th. Office staff and district. And that is all I have for my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Wilcox. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Roll call.
Stephen Lindsay,
Aye.
Andy Luther, Kelly Ropers, Nicole Butler, Marcia White,
Aye.
Ann Houston, and Gina Street.
Thank you. Do we have any correspondence? All right. Any questions on old business? In new business, long-range planning.
Just bring your attention. Today, I have the opportunity to meet with Alan and STR, discuss the Oak gym and things that we could do to enlarge it. And suggestions how we could bump out the north wall to make it a full-size gymnasium. And additional modifications to maybe stage places. Right now, we're just looking for magnitude, dollar magnitude, so we could works that dollar amount on 2. So something that we talked about, spend money aside in budgets for the next couple of years, something to work towards. We have not done the formal, basically, it's for practically jobs. You're working towards. Want to let you know that the company, the Oak Crest gym floor, has been fixed for now with the dehumidification and heating plant. Good news. There has been some discussion regarding some of our exit department and also on 33rd Green Bay Road. Any discussion, and at this time, we would like to do some thoughts on how it might be utilized in the future, so this people, we would like to direct district is proceeding with sale of the Green Bay Road. Just the bigger agreement. Also, or assuming that no one doesn't bid that. The last thing I want to bring your attention is a couple resolutions that are on board packets, specifically regarding door improvements at Oak Crest. That Kenneth Murphy, for a month or so ago, that we talked. We could do, I talked about additional $1 million in the projects. The doors are the first things that we are bringing to attention for approval. We did go through a pull-out, we get the pricing, we get the best price we could. That is what's being proposed. Just FYI, other projects worked on. Discuss removal entirely. Tuck pointing on exterior bricks. It's got to be water in there somewhere. But those are coming, say, still working on those, getting bids. We do recommend we will do. That's all I have. Any questions that you have? Thank you.
Thank you. Finance Committee.
Good evening, Finance Committee met this evening. I'll talk about the tax levy presentation. We met last week to have a fire on and to look at the presentation to review for any errors or corrections. We talked more about the tax levy and then the frankly, did a wonderful job explaining the calculation for the tax. Right. We also talked about potential budget impact, if any, for the part-time folks. I think that's 90% part of that's from. We talked about we'll see AM door replacement and also concrete improvement and repair plan. Maybe to get a list of those projects and for the finance committee. We discussed that and actually discussed that with Andy this evening. We reviewed the monthly finance bills, the treasury reports and bills, and that is it for the finance committee. Any questions?
Thank you, Nicole. Cito.
They did not meet this month. They do meet next month. So Wednesday. That would be, I am usually the representative for CEDAW. Hoping that another one and as our alternate representative.
Thank you. Moving on to any questions or comments on building. Any questions or comments on department reports? I'm sorry. Frank.
Yeah.
All right, so tonight we're presenting the 2024 tentative levy. The levy is the amount requested by a governmental entity to be raised property tax to cover the year's expense. District 3 has a finance committee made up of administrators and board members that scrutinizes over the district's finances. I'd like to thank the finance committee and the board for input and all the diligence and oversight in catching my typos, my presentation. So here's actually go on the word right there. Here's the tax levy calendar. Tonight, the board approves for me to put the proposed levy into the newspaper to set the levy hearing. The proposed levy and the notice of the hearing will be published in the paper between December 2nd and December 3rd. By law, the tax agency must hold a hearing if their levy request is more than 5% over what the previous year's extension was. Ours is not, we're not required to have a hearing, but we're going to do it anyway, just because we want to do transparency. The hearing will be on December 16th at the board meeting, and the levy will have to be filed with the county clerk by the last Tuesday in December. Approving the levy is the most important financial action of the year. So you can see 48% of the revenues that the district receives is through property tax. The other 52% is from local, state, and federal. Local is mostly fees and tuition. State is the evidence-based funding, which is half equal to what our property tax is. And that's a funding formula that was started in 2017, and the state has actually really done a great job of following through with what they said they're going to do. Recently, on a yearly basis. This has really helped the district become much more stable, much more financially stable. Federal is from grants, Title I, the National School Lunch Program, transportation grants. So, what is the difference between a levy and an extension? A levy is the amount we're asking for a certain amount of money. The extension is what we're asking. It's calculated by the Lake County clerk. It's calculated by the Lake County clerk, and it's based on the assessor's property, DPI, and new property in the district. To help understand the levy, I wanted to first define some of the terms of review. CPI left as the Consumer Price Index for December of the previous year. In December, the CPI was 3.4. Then there's existing property. That's all the property that currently exists in the district. And then new growth is any new construction, additions to homes, new houses, anything that will come on the tax. It's not on the tax. That's EAV, or the equalized assessed valuation. This is the total value of all of the property that's in the district. It's unknown. We're not going to know that until spring. Each parcel of property in the district is assessed at its fair market value, and all the individual property values in the district are added together, and that's what equals your EAV, your equalized assessment. When your EAV increases, your tax rate decreases. The inverse also. Your EAV decreases, your tax rate increases. So when the EAV increases, the Lake County, they lower the tax. So if, well, how much of property value change tax rates? Of all factors, the EAV value is the strongest driver. like this slide shows you here that there's an inverse relationship, the EAV and the tax. You can see as the blue line goes up, the orange line goes down. So EAV has consistently been increasing over 5 years, and so the tax rate has been decreasing. But that sounds like great news that your tax rate is decreasing, but the problem is that your assessed values are increasing. So you're taxed on a higher amount of dollars than it's not just, you're being taxed on the same amount as last year at a lower rate. Your assessment went up, so your tax is going to go up as well. That all depends on the county clerk or the county assessor. This one's just to show you a little more dramatically how it inversely affects each other. The blue line would be the EAV and the orange line would be the tax rate. You can see how. So, property tax extension limitation law. It's also referred to as the tax cap. It was enacted in Lake County in 1991, and this law limits increased property taxes to CPI or 5%, whichever one is less. Plus, you can add new growth. This year, the CPI is 3.4%, so it's lower than 5%. It's the lower one, 3.4%. And this is supposed to allow the district to cover the ongoing inflationary costs. So why do we ask? So why do we ask for more than the limit of 3.4%? We have to assume, since we don't know what the EAV is yet, and we don't know what new property, we're asked to create a levy to pass what our levy would be based on information that we don't have yet. So we have to do some assumptions and estimates. We don't know until after the levy has in December. So we estimate a little higher than CPI just so we can capture any new property growth. New growth will ultimately be determined by the county, and we have to start, and there's no penalty for guessing high. There is a penalty for guessing low. If we guess too high, too high, the county clerk is going to bring it down to what it's supposed to be. Once he knows the EAV and the new growth, then the tax rate's cut. But if we don't add a little bit more for the new growth, it's going to calculate the tax rate on only what the existing property was, so the district's going to get less money. So that's why you estimate a little higher. So the Lake County Treasurer is not just going to give us whatever we ask, what the district should be getting based on what the EAV and the new growth. So here's some important points to remember, that we can only ask for 3.4 over last year's extension for existing property. That's due to the PTO, that's extension limitation law. And there's no limit to new growth. Like I said, the county clerk's going to adjust it to be what it's supposed to be. I had a business manager I first worked for did a 30% increase 2 years in a row just to see what happened. Nobody came up to their levy hearing or anything, and just let it be, and their rate was brought down to whatever, like 2.1, the extra 30%. It really will be 3.4, and then whatever the county clerk determines this existing. So this chart illustrates proposed tax levy for 2020. The column shaded in red includes the levy as it's been prepared for the board tonight. And it represents a 4.84 total increase over the 23 extension for the aggregate funds. And those are the funds that are above the first yellow lines. The numbers below the first yellow lines are they're we don't levy on those because the county clerk automatically, whatever your bond payments are, that's levied for, and whatever CEDO levy for, it's going to look. That's not calculated into our rate or what we're asking. It's expected that the county clerk is going to reduce our extension once the new property is known. So the green column on the right, that's what projected the tax. So the total increase, not 3.4, is 4.84, projected to be 3.15%. And it's lower than 3.4 because our bond payments have gone down from last. The projected increase in dollars, so what does that mean for dollars from last year to this year, would be an increase of $659,000. And just to put in perspective, the increase for salaries next year is approximately $666,000. That's at the 3.25% increase that's in the contract. And the increase in benefits is approximately $141,000. And then you have your major contracted services, which are approximately $500,000. So you can see we're already way beyond $10 million right there. $100,000 million, only a $659,000 increase over in our. But it's still, we can still keep on budget because the amount that we're be increasing EDF make it so that those balance. So it's almost actually perfect. This slide illustrates what our beginning fund balances were at July 1st of this year. Administration is keeping a close look at the fund balances in each fund, and because there's new case law, it's called the Miller ratio, and that's where if your balance in an individual fund is greater than 2 times the expenses of your past the average of your past 3 years, then the district will have to submit a plan to ISB on how you're going to reduce your fund. This is new. We've also had tax objections in the past, and that is based on all the funds together in aggregate. And if you go over 2.5, you get more than 2.5 ratio of your expenditures for the average of the past 3 years, then people can sue you and we have to pay money back. So we have to watch those two things very carefully. So this slide shows you the results of it's a spreadsheet that I keep every year, and I work with when I do the budget and when I do the levies, kind of level out all the fund balances to make sure that we don't go beyond any of those 2.0 more than 2.5. So we're leveling out and we're looking pretty good. And I'll keep using this spreadsheet as I move forward and make sure that you're not going to get any more tax. So the Truth in Taxation Act, it requires the district to schedule and announce a hearing if the estimated tax is more than 5% over the previous year. Our aggregate levy, like it says, 4.84. That's over last year's extension. So we are not required to have a public hearing. We're not required to post anything in the newspaper. But again, in an effort to be transparent, I will be posting it in the newspaper and we'll hold a hearing at the next board meeting. So the next steps in the levy are that we have to hold the public hearing. Well, first I'll put the notice in the paper. Then we'll hold a public hearing on December 16th. And at that meeting, we will approve the 2024 final levy. And then we file the levy with the Lake County Clerk by the last Tuesday in December. And that's actually the day of December. Well, I'll have it in much sooner than that. Do it right after you guys. And that's it. I don't know if you guys have any questions. Just when you mentioned EDF should make up the difference between the tax levy and whatever our increases are. You know what the EDF number is? The total EDF is just about $15 million. It's an increase of almost $1 million. Dollar increase for last year. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank. Okay, do we have any questions or comments from visitors? Do I have a motion to adjourn to closed session? Roll call.
Nicole Butler. Andrea Usher. Stephen Lindsay.
Aye.
Kelly Ropers. Ann Houston. Aye. Marcia White.
Aye.
Andy Luther.
All right, we are going to closed session. All right, we're back. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Roll call?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Do I have a motion for the approval of the bid recommendation to replace the doors at Hope?
Second.
Roll call?
Andy Luther, Marcia White,
Aye.
Nicole Butler, Andrew Usher, Kelly Roberts, Ann Houston, Stephen Lindsay.
Approved. Do I have a motion to approve the bid recommendation to replace the doors at Kenneth Murphy? Roll call?
Andrew Usher, Kelly Roberts, Stephen Lindsay,
Aye.
Ann Houston, Nicole Butler, Marcia White,
Aye.
Andy Luther.
And here's the hardest one of all. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Roll call?
Andrew Usher, Stephen Lindsay,
Aye.
Kelly Roberts, Marcia White,
Aye.
Ann Houston, Nicole Butler, Andy Luther.